Hi, welcome. My name is Robin Kay, and I'm going to introduce you to some of the features of Adobe Connect, our virtual classroom software. So, as you can see, this is a video, and this is where your face would be displayed through a webcam. And this is the note area, and you can write any kinds of notes there. I often use it to introduce a class and the learning goals, but students also use these notepads in breakout groups, and we'll talk about that later. This is the chat area, and students often use that to display comments to each other and ask questions. And there's lots of social activity that goes through that, and that also can be used in a breakout room. This is a very effective tool so that everybody can participate. The other very useful tool is this status icon, and if I click on it, I can raise my hand, I can agree with a point or disagree. I can step away if I have to do that. And these features are often used, but they can be fun in terms of laughter or applause after a presentation. So if I have a question, I can raise hand, and when a student does that, actually a little message pops up here and tells me who raised their hand, and then I can call on them to talk. You can also bring pictures into Adobe Connect, which is really useful. So for example here, and I'll just this would be my class overview, the big picture of what I'm doing in my technology and curriculum class. And so I would go over that at the beginning of each class just to see how we've progressed through the class. I also use pictures just for fun at break when I offer virtual snacks. We usually take a 15 to 20-minute break during our class. I can't bring in cookies, but that's the next best thing. Of course, I can bring in presentations. And so, for example, if you were to join our program, I would go through an orientation session, and I would click through there, and we would go through all the key features about our program. Another interesting feature is the poll, and here it is there. And so I can poll students anonymously. For example, in this case, I'm asking what generation they were born in, and as they click, the answer is upgraded here, and I can broadcast those results. And so everybody can sort of get a sense in our class. Most people were from the net generation, some from Generation X, and only a few from baby boomers. And then we can start a question about generations and being part of them and what that means in terms of the use of technology. Another interesting feature is whiteboards. So I can pull up a whiteboard, for example, and let me just spread that out a little bit. And I can do a four corners drill. You can do lots of things with the whiteboard, but I could ask whether students in general are for using external rewards, little stickers or yay sounds or whatever, when teaching students with technology. So they could click on the marker and they could say yes, and every student would click where they would like to. And then we could have a little debate about the pros and cons of using rewards in technology. Another very useful feature is when I would like to share my screen from my home, and I can do that by clicking on Pods, Share, and Add New Share. It comes up here, the little pod, and then I can say Share my screen. I can also share documents, and I can create a new whiteboard if I wish. I won't share my screen right now, but you get the idea, and that can be very valuable if I want to demonstrate something or show something through a website. And finally, one of the most useful features is the breakout room. And I go into a breakout room view by clicking this little X, and you can see there are various breakout rooms. And I divide students, and then they can move to a breakout room, say breakout room 2, or they see you can move around. So I'm in breakout room 1 right now. And then when everybody's moved to their breakout room, I can click on Start Breakout Rooms. Now what that does is I'm in a different room. I'm not in the main meeting room right now. I'm in a breakout room. I can't hear what's going on in the other rooms. But I can work on a task. I can work on a chat and chat with the people in this room. It can make it much more intimate. It can be 3 or 4 of us, and we can make notes, and we can do all the wonderful things I've just shown you, and then come back as a class to discuss it. This is a very useful technique in the class, and students really enjoy it. So that is a brief overview of what you would see, the kinds of things you would see in a virtual class.